Today we're making mushroom risotto. It's going to be for 6 people, and I'm going to be using a borio rice, which is a short grain rice from Italy. We're going to use 2 cups. I'm using frozen mushrooms, 2 cups of fresh mushrooms. It can be whatever mushrooms you have. So it's going to be about 3 cups of mushrooms altogether. I'm using porcini mushrooms, which are dried ones, just a handful of those. I put them in hot water. I've drained it, and this is what you get. They're hydrated now. They give amazing flavour for the risotto, and I've kept the liquor and I'm going to add that to the stock. You can use Parmigiano cheese or a vegan substitute. We've got 2 onions chopped very finely. We've got garlic, thyme, white wine, we've got salt, pepper, olive oil, and we're going to start off by making the stock. I'm using 1.5 litres of hot water, a veggie stock cube, and I'm going to add the liquor which I soaked the porcini mushrooms in. If you have the porcini mushrooms, it's great. If you don't have it, that's fine as well. I'm going to cook button mushrooms. We're going to use as a garnish. And I'm just going to let them cook for a few minutes until they just wet them down a little bit. These are great, they're done. I'm just going to put them aside. And add some more olive oil. About 3 tablespoons. 2 finely chopped onions, about 6 cloves of garlic, a little bit of rosemary if you have it. Rosemary and mushrooms go really well, so whenever you're cooking mushrooms, always add a little bit of rosemary or a woody herb like thyme, rosemary are great with mushrooms. I'm going to add a teaspoon of thyme. Just let the onions sweat down a little bit until they get soft, which will take about 2 minutes. I'm going to add another tablespoon of oil and add 2 cups of rice. The 8 grains take the oil and the flavours of the onion and the garlic. We'll do this for about 30 to 40 seconds. I'm going to ladle vegetable stock and the porcini mushroom liquor. Risotto, you've got to be very patient with. You add the stock little by little until it evaporates, the porcini mushrooms. But they're the strongest flavour. You can see the ladle of water I put in has already been absorbed. I will add another. A risotto takes roughly 20 minutes to make. So whenever you go to a restaurant, you know if they're making it fresh for you, roughly it will be 20 minutes wait. I won't add any salt to this yet because we're going to use the Parmesan cheese, which has a lot of salt. So I'm going to taste it at the end, and if I need to add any more salt, I will do it at the end. I will add a little bit of black pepper. 1/4 teaspoon. Another ladle of stock. And you will do this until the rice becomes al dente. Then you will add the cheese and the other soft mushrooms. So we'll carry on with this. I've been cooking for about 8 minutes, and I'm going to add a cup of wine. Optional. It does give it an amazing flavour. We'll come back again and I'll show you how we're getting on. Right, we are roughly 3/4 of the way into finishing this risotto. When your stock finishes, don't worry, just add more water. It depends on your rice. You might need 1 litre, you might need 1.5 litres. I'm going to add the mushroom, and now I'm going to let them come to know the rest of the rice. So they're all mingling together and becoming friends. Cook this for the final 10 minutes. It has now been cooking for 20 minutes. I'm going to add for Parmesan cheese a ladle of the stock. Risotto should be a little bit runny, a little bit soft. This consistency actually, you can see. I'll add the sauteed mushrooms, and this will give it a nice little different texture to the sliced ones. I'm going to give it a taste. Does not need any salt. I think it's perfect. I'm going to add butter. You can add olive oil. I'm going to add a little bit of vegan butter. I'm going to add a little bit of parsley, basil, and half a lemon to give it a little bit of freshness, as it's going to be quite rich. We'll now dish it up. A little bit of shaving of parmesan. I'm going to add a little bit of truffle oil on top. You can add some olive oil. This is your mushroom risotto. I hope you try to make it. Buon appetito.